Hey guys, it's Julian, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make deep minimal house like Rossi, Archie, Hamilton, and Toman. To go along with this video, I have just dropped a new sample pack actually called Deep Minimal House Loop Construction Tools, Volume 1. What this is it's a pack which contains 5 construction kits. You can see we've got all 5 of them right here. They're all labeled with the BPM and the key and all of that. And what is included in these construction kits is basically 5 full little loops here in the style. So here's what they sound like. May recognize that. And then the last one. So yeah, like I said, 5 kits here, and what goes along with these is you get the individual loops from each track. You can see there's literally everything in here as individual loops, as well as the Ableton project. So if you're in Ableton, you can get it, and then on top of that, you also get the individual samples with each one, so you can play with them on your own. So yeah, link to that is in the description. This is definitely great if you're looking for some new inspiration for the style, or maybe you just want some things to kind of take apart and work with on your own, or even, you could just take these and get the individual loops from each one and either just, work them into a track as is, or you could take them and take the loops from each one and sort of rearrange them and make your own thing out of it. So there's a lot of options with this. I wanted to create something that you guys can really work with and, not just have like a cool sample pack, but a cool sample pack that really sounds professional and is going to make your tracks sound as good as all these other tracks in the style that you guys like so much. So yeah, link to that is in the description. Definitely go check it out. Like I said, you get a bunch of super cool loops as well as some nice project files in the style, and everything is super high quality and professional sounding. And yeah, let's dive in. So this is a loop that you heard in the intro. This is kit 1 from the pack. The first sound we have here is the bass, which sounds like this. So here's the MIDI. You can see it's really simple. It's just in D minor. So you can see we've got D, and then we have F, and then we have an A sharp up there. If I put this up, you can hear what it is. Yeah, you can hear super simple bass line. This is what you want with the style. Just very simple, very syncopated. There's a lot of 16th notes going on here. And there's also a bit of swing. So you can see we have all of these notes kind of move back a little bit, all the 16th notes. And what this does is it just kind of gives the overall bass line a lot more groove because, like I said, it's very syncopated now. And you get that like tss, as opposed to tss. And you can see pretty much everything throughout the track is kind of off the grid like this with the 16th notes. But yeah, those are the notes for the bass line. Like I said, really simple. For the sound on this one, it's made using operator. You can see we have 3 oscillators, and they're all 3 just doing sine waves. You got the envelopes on the first 2 set like this, and the third one is just default. But yeah, really simple bass sound. With this style, again, you just want something that's really clean and simple and going to kind of shine through the mix. So in this case, it's just a very deep and fat kind of bass tone like this. Nothing really too crazy there. Just kind of using FM to create something where it's still going to be kind of like a sine wave. But you can hear it just has a little bit more high harmonic content on it now, so it's a bit fatter. And yeah, then after that we have a bit of saturation to beef the sound up and just make it a bit more full, even on top of what we're already doing inside the synth. And then the last thing we have on there is just a compressor sidechaining into the kick, and that is it for the bass. The next sound that we have here is the kick, which sounds like this. So you can hear this is just a really punchy 909 style kick, pretty simple stuff. Just got it in a simpler here. You can see I shortened it a little bit, and I also tuned it. And yeah, and then we've got a drum bus on there just to fatten it up and kind of make it a bit more punchy. You can see I've got the transients up on that, so if I turn that off, and then turn it on, you can hear the difference that makes, and you really need that because, like, if you listen to a lot of tracks in the style, like when you put this up against a reference track, you'll find like the kicks are really hard hitting actually. Like it sounds like soft, kind of chill, minimal house, but the kicks are like really slamming. So the way that you get this is just by turning this transient knob up or using some kind of like a shaper like this, or it could be, like a good one is Wave Smack Attack. I know there's a transient shaper inside of Guitar Rig. There's a bunch of different plugins that will do this, but you just need something where you can turn up the attack like that to really get it, like I said, to slam like you need it to. And then the last thing on there is just an EQ8, which is cutting out some mud as well as boosting the mid-range a little. This mid-range boost really helps with the punch. If I turn this off, you can hear it brings out that like kind of frequency. I don't know what the sound was, but that kind of frequency range where a lot of the like impact on the kick is happening. And then this just cuts out some mud, kind of, cleans it up so it's not making the mix muddy. Yeah, that is it for the kick. After that, we have this Rhodes sound, which sounds like this. So what this is it's just playing this D minor 9 chord. So like I said, we're in the key of D minor, and what this is it is a minor 9 chord. So we're using D minor, just D, F, and A, just the root note, the third, the minor third, and then the fifth, and then we add a minor 7th on top of that, and then a 9th. And there you go, you get a D minor 9 chord. And it's a really simple chord too, because you can kind of see it follows this pattern here. So we have like 2 notes between this one, 3 notes between this one, 2 notes between this one, 3 notes between this one. If you follow that pattern, you can't go wrong. You can even keep going. And add all those notes, and it'll still be in key. So it's like, really interesting way to make a chord there. But yeah, so that's what this is, These minor 9 and 7th chords can give you a little bit more of like a jazzy and kind of like smooth feel like this, versus if we just do a minor chord, doesn't really give you as much of a direction. And then that's just held out, just kind of like in the background like that. For the sound on this one, I have this EP faceplate. I'm pretty sure this is one of the Ableton things. But yeah, it's just used to give it this very authentic sort of Rhodes sound. With this kind of sound, you kind of have to use something sampled. You can't really just like make this in like synthesis or something like that. Then we just have a bit of drum bass on it to fatten it up, and then a bit of a compressor, side chaining into the kick, and then the last thing we have on here is a high pass filter, because these can have a lot of low end to them. Like if I turn this off, you can hear sometimes it can really have that like underneath it, but if we cut that out, there we go. And that is it for the Rhodes. The next thing that we have here, these 2 chord stabs, which sound like this. So these are the kind of chord stabs like you hear in a lot of tracks, not just in the style of the 3 DJs I mentioned before, but like really all of these different types of people use these kinds of chord stabs. What they are, they're just sampled chord stabs. And then I've tuned them, and then they're just in the key of the track. And then you can hear they just kind of come in like that. Yeah, pretty simple stuff. It's just a matter of getting like 1 or 2. You could just use 1 or you can use 2. If you get this sample pack in the description, you get both of these. But you could use 1 or 2, and then they're just kind of like coming in and out there. And they add a lot of groove to the overall track, because you're hearing a bunch of percussion. And then on top of that, there's like these percussive chords. And it's very powerful rhythmically that way. And then those are just pretty much dry. After that, we have the percussion, which is a lot of layers, and it all together sounds like this. So So you can see we have literally like 1, 2, 3, 4 percussion things here, and then we have a drum rack which has 2 more. So overall, it's 6 percussion sounds in here, and these are all just kind of playing off of each other, doing this very syncopated thing with the hi-hat. Like if I play it, you can hear what everything's doing. You know, it's just giving it all the percussion, and you can see like if we just use 1 or 2 of these, it's not going to be the same. You really need everything to give it that full amount of groove. So the key with this one is just to get a lot of different percussion sounds like this, and then just kind of put them in here in a way where they don't get in the way of each other. Like you can see if I show you the MIDI for all of these, I'll close all of these here. You can see like none of these are fighting for the same space. They're all happening kind of like off of each other. So it's like, you know, you can see like, yeah, it's not all just like going to be fighting for the same space. Even here where some of these are playing at the same time, they're pretty different sounds, so you can hear the space between them. But yeah, that's the key, is it's a lot of percussion sounds, and not even like a lot, like 6 sounds isn't really that many. But it's like multiple percussions, and then just having them all playing at completely different times. And a really good technique to write these, and the way I like to do a lot of times, is maybe just take one of them, like how there's this one, doing that. And you can just take that MIDI and then start moving it around to the other ones in different places. Like, you can even just get random with it because it'll be in time since it's on that one spot. But then pretty soon, once you start doing that, you'll have like a little thing set up like what I have here. And it'll have this kind of like busy but still controlled sound where everything isn't going to be fighting for the same space. So yeah, and then the next sound we have here is a clap, which sounds like this. So just kind of like this punchy, hard-hitting clap you can hear. Got a bit of drum bass on it, you know, just hitting on the 2 and 4. You don't want anything too reverbed out with this style, you know, something just like a quick, hard-hitting clap like this is what you want. And then that bit of drum bass really helps to make it stand out. And then the last layer that we have here are the hi-hats, which sound like this. So what we got here is we've got an 808 hi-hat doing the... And then we have a 909 hi-hat playing on the upbeats here. And then the 909 hi-hat, you can see we shorten it a little using the amplitude envelope. It's important to do that with this style. Like, if we turn the sustain up, that feels more like deep house or like tech house. But the little tight one kind of fits into the groove a little more. It makes you bob your head a bit more. And then I just have a bit of drum bass on that. No processing on the 808 hi-hat. And yeah, so that is it for this one, and that is also going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get my new sample pack, Deep Minimal House Loop Construction Tools, Volume 1. I had to read that. In the description. It's right at the top of the description. Can't miss it. Like I said, it's just $15 and you get 5 awesome construction kits with full loops and Ableton files for all of them, as well as the individual samples. So you can really take these and learn from them and turn them into your own really awesome tracks and make some really professional stuff that's ready to get signed to labels in this style. And yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.